Fortress, and this is the first match of the night. We've got an orange Zerg down here in the southeast position. It is 440 Gaming's SoLJeRVictuS.
And his opponent in the top right corner of Iron Fortress. It is the purple Protoss player from All-In. Or an A University with an A as their symbol. I don't know. It is the one, the only purple Protoss, Canary. Which used to be a Terran, I believe.
Yeah, I'm kind of interested to talk to him about what's going on with his rank a little bit, because I'm not sure. We knew him as a Diamond Masters really cheesy Terran player, and now he's currently ranked in Platinum and is playing Protoss, so I'm not sure if that's just that he hasn't played that much this season, or if his new race switch is finding him a little bit lower ranked than the latter. I'm not really sure. But I don't know, cheesy players tend to be the players that transition from race to race the easiest.
Yeah.
If you're going to learn a new race, picking up like the fast one base all in or two base all in or whatever is the easiest thing to pick up. So I don't doubt Canary's strength in this too much, just because he's playing a different race than the last time I watched him.
Yeah, I agree, definitely. Cheese is a universal thing in the land of StarCraft. Canary going for a Forge Fast Expand, and interestingly, a Forge first on a map like Iron Fortress. I might do Nexus first, but definitely his opponent in the bottom right-hand corner, SoLJeRVictuS. Went pool then hatch. I was really hoping to do actually a 14 gas, 14 pool, but didn't quite see that there. And both players are kind of evening out. Even his first scout is incorrect to the bottom left-hand side for now. But I'm quite excited to see what Canary is going to do. It's an interesting wall. Actually, no, this is a perfect wall. He'll put there's not a great wall, but it will be perfect for one Zealot to defend. Put the gate right between those, but he's going to need something to defend, and actually spots it because of these 4 lanes coming across the map.
Yeah, Canary's opening build, I think his plan has already kind of changed. He sent out a scout really early. I think he was planning on getting lucky and hopefully getting that first, maybe second scout off in cannon rushing because his forge was so early. But his scout was so late and the pool was so early from SoLJeRVictuS that he wasn't actually able to do anything. So now he's just transitioning to a normal macro opening. But yeah, this wall, as a Zerg player, looks really juicy and ripe for a nice Baneling bust here, like with the cannon and 2 pylons right here, ready to depower everything, and those are the nice, soft, squishy buildings. Like that's what I would be doing here if I scout that with that Zergling, but not sure if that is in SoLJeRVictuS's repertoire. It is more of like a 2011 style, so 4 years later, not necessarily something you see all the time in ZVP.
Yeah, I completely agree. Protoss Walls 101 is that very first pylon, if you're doing a Forge Fast Expand, is not a part of the wall. As you were saying, very, very juicy to the Baneling busts. I'm not sure if SoLJeRVictuS is doing that yet, though. Starting off with a very strong 3-queen opening, no gas, and he has scouted Canary here, and it's really good. It's kind of up to Canary to, I don't want to say dictate this game, but SoLJeRVictuS, like on his third base, is very much, okay, I'm going to play economically, and it's up for grabs for Canary to do something. SoLJeRVictuS is going to be very happy if Canary just sits back and macros back. But also just to say, like you were saying, with the Forge was very early. It was a Forge first fast expand, and what you do with that normally is a cannon. But that really has been denied, as you were saying. So it's given SoLJeRVictuS a very large, I don't want to say very large. It's given him some padding in some area he can kind of work with now that he's really denied all the early aggression.
Yeah, it's like at this stage of the game, the Zerg is kind of in a receptive, reactive posture, and now he's getting down that Roach Warren and Evo Chamber. He's probably just going to go for a big Roach Swell and attack. Canary's Stargate tech, though, that's almost done now. Probably going to go Oracle out and then try and get some damage, but also get some scouting. Yeah, and SoLJeRVictuS is gearing up here for like the classic just +1 Roach max here. And if Canary is unprepared and doesn't react properly to that, he's going to be hard pressed to survive it without Robotech down, unless he gets that Phoenix over there to support his mothership core and scouts what's happening and just chronos out some Void Rays.
Yeah, I agree. It's definitely going to be very hard if those roaches get out, but looks like Canary's actually just trying to put on aggression even before these Phoenixes. SoLJeRVictuS does have a couple or 1 extra Overlord on the map, but really, if these Phoenixes can start picking off Overlords, you can pretty much deny your opponent SoLJeRVictuS from getting his units out because he has so many drones. It is actually, they're completely even, 44 drones, but it's still a lot of drones in this situation. Finally, Canary pressuring the third base here. Couple Lings try to get in, and they may be able to do something normally, but because of this Zealot and the Mothership Core, they pretty much deny everything, and this third base is actually getting picked on for a little while. There's 6 Roaches on the way, though, which should completely deny this.
Yeah, Canary might actually just recall here to save these units, but it actually loses the Stalker and the Zealots, and there's a recall, only saves the Mothership Core, and actually recalls with the Phoenix. So then that Phoenix has to fly back across the map, and Canary is still completely unaware of what's happening in the main base. He doesn't see the lair, he doesn't see any of SoLJeRVictuS' tech here. But SoLJeRVictuS actually hasn't started Roach speed.
Right. Getting it now, and getting
Overlord speed +1 and Roach speed. So this is what we want to see, just a little bit later than it should have been. But that got thrown off a little bit by that pressure on his third.
Yeah, I really like the Overlord speed. I mean, he spotted the Phoenix, and then Canary teleported back home with that Phoenix. What these Phoenixes have to do in the early game is, if they can't get an Overlord, you go for drones, but generally you're trying to snipe as many Overlords as you can, and he's finally kind of doing that, but he's a little late to the game. Normally you'd see these Overlords like that very first Phoenix, like take out the very first one, which was by the third base for Canary, but Canary's kind of actually bought his opponent, SoLJeRVictuS, a little bit of a time. They will try to pick up a queen, but three Phoenixes don't quite actually kill a queen within one, within one gravity beam. And for now, SoLJeRVictuS is just kind of building up. He's playing very, not passively, but he's playing very safe actually here. He's getting all his upgrades he needs, and he's also going for a Hydra Den.
Yeah, this Hydra Den, since Canary threw down that fleet beacon to upgrade his Stargate tech, but can't really use it because he's going for a mothership rush. So he's got all these gates down, up to 7 gateways now. I think he's just going to go for a huge warp gate swell with the mothership behind it. That's really strange here. I'm afraid that unless he goes and utilizes his Phoenixes specifically to target SoLJeRVictuS' detection. But there's spore crawlers at every base. Like, I don't really think this is that strong of a cheese. But you never know. This is the sort of thing where if it succeeds, it's going to look OP as hell. Or it could just fall completely flat.
If it succeeds, it's really going to be, it's going to be, as you were saying, detection. Now, SoLJeRVictuS does have an Overseer somewhere, if I can find it, on the map, or maybe he doesn't. I feel like he had an Overseer somewhere, or a little bit earlier on. It actually started taken up by the Phoenixes. But, Canary's going to have a couple seconds to really control the map, or maybe a minute or two to control the map with that Mothership Core, and that's going to be really, really powerful. Yes, like you were saying, there is the Spore Crawlers at the bases, but I think it may be, this is not what it's for. It's definitely a cheesy move, but he's going to be able to clear out a lot of this creep and probably kill kill the majority of the army before it actually happens. And there's only 4 Hydras. 4 Hydras just don't really kill motherships that well. So as long as Canary, as you were saying, can snipe down those Overseers, he'll be in a fantastic position, even if he can't go for one of the bases. But he's got to move out quickly.
Yeah, the longer he waits, SoLJeRVictuS is going to be approaching max here. They're pretty even on supply right now. SoLJeRVictuS is getting heavily supply blocked, making 6 Overlords now. But he just needs to swell units now. And he should see that there's no third and identify that, there's a bunch of units, and as that Ling dies at the front to a bunch of invisible units underneath a mothership, he's got to be panicking here. He's just adding on a bunch more Hydras, and now it's just going to be nothing but Roaches and Hydras from him. And I think once he holds this, if he holds it and kills the mothership, that's such a huge investment at this stage of the game with no third base that Canary's just going to die. But he could very easily take this with a bad engagement from the Zerg.
Yeah, I kind of like this with SoLJeRVictuS, though. As you were saying, might be a bad engagement. It'd be easier for him to take it, especially even though there's a lot of Hydras. There's currently 17 Hydras. There's no Overseer. And even a higher level player, I feel like, would be, okay, I should be careful to get 1 Overseer, 2 Overseers. But he's playing it very confidently, so this is going to be key here, this one battle right here. SoLJeRVictuS is getting prepared for it. He's a very, very nice concave. The Zealots of Canary are not in a good position for this, though. A couple sentries.
If SoLJeRVictuS identifies that the mothership is what he needs to target and Canary micros that properly, he's not going to lose his engagement. There's no detection out here in the field. And there it goes down. Canary's got to run away now.
Man, the
So
army of
far
Canary
behind.
was actually in front of the mothership core and didn't even utilize that base right there. The army of Canary could do a lot more damage. Overseer is finally coming in. Void Rays can get a little bit of damage done, but they have to be very careful not to come on top of those Hydralisks. For now, Canary pulling back, used a lot of force fields to force field off that ramp, but now SoLJeRVictuS in a fantastic position. GG! 440 Gaming, SoLJeRVictuS takes game 1 of this best of 3.
We're back here. This is game number 2, and this is Coda. On the right side, we have our orange Zerg once again representing 440 Gaming, up 1-0. It is SoLJeRVictuS.
And his opponent in the top left-hand corner of Coda, the man who, well, tried to do a mothership core, or actually mothership rush, so used to saying mothership. It is from All In, the Purple Protoss, Canary.
Yeah, that really cheeky play in game 1, and SoLJeRVictuS really prepared for everything, actually drone scouting his whole main base, looking out for the in-base proxy 2 gate. He's prepared for anything. I think wouldn't be surprised if we see that conservative mass roach opening from him again. Just that's a really good catch-all for Protoss. Some really fast DTs or something like that can really do a lot of harm. Really aggressive Phoenix openings, Oracle's openings, the stuff that you don't actually prepare for, but gateway timings and stuff like that will fall flat on their face to that opening as long as you identify them. So I think that's going to be SoLJeRVictuS' plan, at least judging by his really conservative scouting patterns.
Yeah, I agree with you, definitely. I also think that, I think he may be in a fantastic position for this game because Canary is he is going gate first, or he's doing a gate fast expand. And from that, that's a very aggressive play. It doesn't matter how you set it up. It's kind of indicative of an aggressive play from the Protoss. And the Overlord of SoLJeRVictuS even spots that. So, as you were saying, he's very scouting a lot. And if you do a roach, kind of that big roach push, it could really punish a gate, just a heavy gateway pressure or anything like that. And so, I think this may work out well for SoLJeRVictuS. He did go spawning pool first. So, as you were saying, he was a little bit worried, okay, I want to get this out early, just in case some crazy cheese comes from Canary here. Like you were saying also, when he was playing Terran, he did do some very intense cheesing, and I think I casted him once when he was doing that, but we'll see for now. Canary starting this off with the Mothership Core and the Zealot prancing off onto the other side of the map.
Yeah, that's a really nice move out from him right now. Since SoLJeRVictuS made those the 6 lings, he's not going to get anything done with those. He has to come home and deal with this 2 Zealot and Mothership Core pressure from Canary, and that allows Canary to throw down his Nexus, which is a little bit later because of the gate expand, in relative safety. If he hadn't moved out, then these lings might have been able to juke and dodge around and maybe get something done back in the Protoss base, but now it's all on the Zerg side of the base, which is where Protoss prefers to be.
Yeah, definitely. It is exactly where Protoss prefers to be, especially when they're doing this type of strategy. There's no proxy pylon yet, but there's also no proxy gates. Canary's natural base is a little bit far behind because he did try to squeeze out these 2 Zealots, or actually 1 Zealot. Normally you would have that 1 Zealot at least to wall in, but for now, Canary may be able to get one of these Overlords. He's got to be so careful though not to lose one of these Stalkers because it's so important. The Zealots push away the Lings, the Roaches, when they're in very small amounts, and the Stalker gets the damage done. But for now, he may get 1 Overlord, but it's a funny situation here. It's both players are postured to do a lot of damage, and then both players kind of like, no, never mind. Yeah,
SoLJeRVictuS keeping his opening really conservative, only throwing 2 into gas. Not 100% certain that's intentional, but Canary rather is really lucky that SoLJeRVictuS didn't just go for a really fast speedling flood, which we have seen Zerg start to do a lot more often. To moderate success, but against that kind of aggressive move out with some Zealots in the Mothership Core, a big flood of Speedlings would overwhelm that and then go back home to where there's no wall at the front and just have their way with this Protoss. But these slow Lings only with the 1 spine at home to defend are just keeping SoLJeRVictuS tucked back on 2 bases, and his drone count right now is a lot lower than he would like it to be.
Yeah, I completely agree. It is a lot lower than he'd like it to be, and I think it may have worked out better if he took a third base earlier. Now, obviously, there was the 2 Zealot Mothership Core coming across the field, but I mean, he's starting to get out his Roach Warren now. Maybe Canary would have learned and punished that third base a little bit better, but this is the key right here. Metabolic Boost has started, 16 Lings on the way, and the hatchery for the third base is going down. This is a huge time of expansion for SoLJeRVictuS, and it's going to be key whether Canary capitalizes it on it or not. And actually, he had a proxy pylon ready to go at that kind of 4th base position for SoLJeRVictuS here, but just stopped. He's not going to capitalize on this and just going home. Very interesting decision from him. Why do you think he did this?
I'm not sure. Canary, I think, has gotten done what he really wanted to do. He just kind of scared the Zerg into playing, not necessarily frightened, but kind of shy for a little while. He's denied that third, slowed it down, forced out some more units. And now what he's done to SoLJeRVictuS is forced him to make a bunch of Lings and Roaches before their upgrades are done and they're useful. Right when Canary's throwing down his wall and making it so that these units can't actually get anything done now. So while SoLJeRVictuS was playing scared, he didn't drone up and he didn't really flood units. And then once Canary's like, okay, I got done what I needed to get done, goes home, then SoLJeRVictuS makes a bunch of units which aren't drones. Now he's kind of finding himself behind, and there's so Gateway's done with the Robo done now. Just getting out of Observers right now. I'm not sure when Canary is planning an attack, since he's prioritizing those Observers over Immortals or more aggressive units. We'll see there. I think if Canary had just chronoed out a couple of Immortals here and just gone for maximum Gateway production and added like 2 more gates, I think he could have just killed SoLJeRVictuS. But both players are kind of playing cautious right now. Neither one of them want to commit too hard or too softly to anything. They're both just kind of in the middle of the road, all over the place, tech-wise, army-wise, positioning-wise. Like even with Canary, just getting out those 2 observers to scout really well what's going on all over the place. It's really interesting.
Yeah, I completely agree. Both players are just playing very timidly, as you said, kind of shy. And you're kind of hinting on how Canary, on the other side of the map, kind of scared his opponent, and that's a really key thing to do. When you're contained, you want to make those units, but you want to keep droning. You want to keep making your workers, because you're going to be able to expand into your third base into different positions. And so he didn't do that, and because of that, his third base is not really at what he'd want it to be, and where it could have actually been if he made some more drones there and not quite floating as high. Neither player floating super high, but Canary a little bit here. And for now, Canary, he does have a decent army, but still no third base in the sight for him, and he's not going to be able to take it that easily just because the Lings are prepared to scout it. Yeah,
I feel like Canary's build isn't very optimized yet. Like I'm interested to talk to him and see how long he's been playing Protoss, because it's clear that he's a talented player. Like he was playing Terran at a fairly high level, and now his Protoss is solid all around, but just not very optimal. Like the order that he's getting things out of his Robo, his probing up and lack of third, things like that, could all just be swished around in the order. Like he's not necessarily doing the wrong thing, he's just doing the right thing at the wrong time. And it's resulted in him not being as far ahead as he should be. And like this Warp Prism, I don't know. It's kind of all a little bit awkward. Especially since by now the Zerg is basically done droning and can just react to whatever you're doing with a bunch of units. Generally, you want to hit at a time that it's awkward for the Zerg to be making units and not drones. Or vice versa. Right after they make a bunch of drones because they think they're safe, that's when you hit. One of those kind of timings. And now it's just kind of, I have an army-ish, and I'm moving out to take a third-ish. I don't know, it's kind of weird. He's Protoss, and his army is good in a straight-up fight, so we'll see what happens from this. But War Prism is scouted, not sure how much he's going to be able to get done.
Yeah, he will actually go to the natural base. A couple Roaches there to intercept. Won't be able to get anything done yet. And he's like, oh crap, I forgot to get out of here. And he may actually get caught out by the Spore Crawler, but only 1 Queen to do damage to this Warp Prism. I'm like 100% sure it'll get away though. But as you were saying, it all is a little bit... It's just a little bit awkward, as you were saying. And also just for, Canary, his pylons are totally placed like depots. Or some place. His pylons are strange, as you're saying. I don't know how long he's been playing Protoss, but he is getting up a decent army for now. He's got extended thermal lance on the way, +1, and he's going to have to deal with the army of SoLJeRVictuS coming out across the map. Now, roach speed is only finishing now. There's no Hydras with this army, so SoLJeRVictuS has to be very, very careful. He may be able to get a decent angle on the army of Canary, but, I mean, the Warp Prism spots it, so yeah, SoLJeRVictuS has to go home.
Yeah, SoLJeRVictuS, he's got just enough room in his supply. If he, yeah, here come the Hydras as well. If he finished out his max, yeah, that cannon surround. If he finished out his supply cap on Hydras alone, and I think he will be able to attack and deny this third at least. Apply some pressure, you know, scare Canary a little bit. Something like that. Then by the time he reloads for his next attack, he'll hopefully have his hive done. He should be starting that here really soon. That infestation pit just finished. There it is. And then he'll have Vipers. And by the time he gets out Vipers, Canary isn't really looking like he's going to be prepared for that. The Templar tech kind of needs to be on the way now, and the Twilight Council's just now done.
Yeah. And one big thing also for Canary is simply he's not constantly warping in. He's got 2,000 minerals in the bank at the moment, and that's not at all where you want to be at the 15-minute mark and with 160 supply. Finally, there's a warp in now as I'm saying that, actually. But, I mean, it's just, he has to be warping in constantly all through the game, and that's where you get Protosses that just have such a big army quickly because they're constantly warping in units every cycle. And it just hasn't quite happened. Yes, he's got a decent army, and he's almost had some good positions, but he's giving SoLJeRVictuS too long of a time to get his creep spread going and do a lot of things like Hive is on the way also. Not super fast Hive, but I feel like he's given SoLJeRVictuS a little bit too long of time. Either a Zealot run by or just clearing up some creep really is what Canary wants to be doing. And it looks like he's kind of heading out to do that now, but SoLJeRVictuS just has fantastic map control at the moment, while, I mean, Canary has very, very little.
Yeah, SoLJeRVictuS just, he can't possibly feel anything other than pretty comfortable. He's maxed out on a pretty decent army. He's got just the right amount of Hydras, a whole bunch of Roaches, and Canary hasn't done anything to him all game. And Canary keeps warping in Stalkers and just now getting Blink. With how many minerals he has and how low on gas he is, I would... In this situation, I feel like it's much better to go for charge, get a bunch more Zealots, and the Zealots actually deal really well with Roach and Hydras by themselves. Oh man, but this army from SoLJeRVictuS is actually not that big now that the Protoss is also maxed out with Colossi, and unless he spreads this out really well and gets a really nice arc around those Colossi, the Vipers aren't ready yet, this engagement could go really poorly for SoLJeRVictuS, which would be a shame because he's been in control this whole game, just because Canary's just kind of sacrificed it.
Yeah, two Vipers are out. Two Vipers are out, but not going to have enough energy. Very nice force fields, but actually a little bit too many force fields. Army of SoLJeRVictuS is pulled out to the left-hand side and actually providing a beautiful corridor for Canary to move into either the natural or the third. This is beautiful by Canary, actually, even though it was way too many force fields right there. Moving up into the natural now. Canary wants to force field behind him. He's in bad position. Beautiful again. He can even teleport out if he wants to, but his Mothership Core is pretty low on health. He's got to be careful not to lose that. SoLJeRVictuS knows, crap, I'm in a bad position. Starting the Spire. 21 drones are down, and this is actually going extremely well for Canary. Some beautiful positioning. Now the Vipers are out, they can't abduct, and they're going to need to start abducting. I'd say the Mothership Core actually to deny any teleports out, but so far, I mean, the Colossus is doing so much damage. This is actually huge right now. So much damage done, but off the back of this, Canary is not literally making nothing.
Yeah, this is Canary is all about the micro right now, but his army is just absolutely face rolling all over SoLJeRVictuS. SoLJeRVictuS just kind of was in control of that game, but only because Canary wasn't forcing the game to be in his control. Then he walks across the map and just Protoss 1A is all over his face, and now he is dying. Like, this is a dead Zerg what we're seeing here. There's no way you possibly come back from this. Like, maybe if your army is already in the Protoss base trading, but Canary's been warping in a bunch of Stalkers at home. Like, yeah, this is all in Canary's court right now.
I do agree, Canary has a massive lead right here, but we may be able to see something out of SoLJeRVictuS here. Snipes one Colossus, a couple Roaches in a bad position, Zealots on the ramp. There is Hydras with his army now and the Roaches, so they will be able to catch things that are on the other side of force field, slowly losing these Zealots now. Yes, Canary lost everything in his main base, but right now what SoLJeRVictuS needs to do is clean up the rest of this army and go over to the other side of the map, because through that entire engagement, Canary has not made a single unit. Finally warps in. I mean, how many Stalkers? That is 35 stalkers. There's also about 20 workers in the main not doing any work at all. So this is really key right now. SoLJeRVictuS may be able to do something, but both players floating so high on minerals. And I mean, the entire economy of SoLJeRVictuS has been taken out, but he has a decent army just because of the roach counts against these stalkers. But then again, these stalkers do provide an excellent meat shield for your Colossus, your Immortals. So I mean, both players, I'm posturing for a good position. If Canary would go out and take a fourth, I think he'd be in a fantastic position, but I still think he is.
Yeah, Canary's going to be able to take this engagement so well. The Colossus just are unfazed by this Roach Hydra with this much support down below from the gateway units. And SoLJeRVictuS does not have the supply to deal with this engagement. He's down in army supply, and his supply count is actually deceiving because he's so far down in economy, but I think this is just it for SoLJeRVictuS. Like I said, that was a dead Zerg a few minutes ago, and now he's just continuing to die harder and harder and harder with 30 drones. You're down 70 army supply. There's just no way. When you have this many Blink Stalkers to deal with, it's so larva inefficient to fight this many Blink Stalkers without just completely overwhelming force.
GG.
There's the GG.
Final game of the first match tonight. This is ASL Season 5 Vanguard League, Group A. In the bottom right-hand corner of Echo, it is the purple Protoss player who just evened it up 1-1. From All In Gaming, it is the one, the only, Canary.
Oh, Canary. Canary, our nice Protoss champion coming in here, evening it up, making this a series. And his opponent trying to get back in this series and take it 2-1 in the top left of Echo, the orange Zerg, SoLJeRVictuS. Once again with that pool first, not taking any chances against this Protoss.
Yeah, definitely not taking any chances at all. He's like, crap, it's gotten to the third game. You know, in that first game he felt so confident. In the second game, I'm actually kind of thinking it may not have been, it was being passive, which kind of lost him that game. But I think it was more he was just too overconfident. He's like, I got this, just give me a minute, I got this, and just kept giving a little too much time. But we do see for Canary, I mean, I hope he doesn't give SoLJeRVictuS too much time this time, because Canary is going into this gateway, or actually, it may be great if SoLJeRVictuS does not give Canary too much time, but for now, Canary going to the gateway fast expand. I'd love to see him add it on like he tried in game 1, but just executed it a little bit better.
Yeah, SoLJeRVictuS actually adding on his gas really early this time, throwing 3 drones in it right away. I like this a lot. If Canary plays out this game exactly the way he did last time, he's going to die so hard to fast speedlings. At the very least, he's going to lose his natural. Especially if he goes for that nice move out with a, yeah, he's getting a second Zealot. The Mothership Core is on the way. He's going to move out with that first Zealot. Yeah, he's going to get owned by this. I'm afraid, especially if SoLJeRVictuS actually makes a good amount of lings, not just like 8 to 10. Like if he floods lings after he gets to about 16 drones, he's going to absolutely annihilate Canary.
Yeah, I agree. Canary has to be so careful moving out onto the map with these 2 Zealots. You don't have anything to protect them, and I mean, the Mothership Core just is not enough. But for now, I mean, only 2 lings actually coming out. We see SoLJeRVictuS kind of being careful. Now, it is about 20 seconds before Canary gets in the natural base of SoLJeRVictuS. But like I was saying, it's really going to be key. I mean, just how fast he'll teleport back, because he can lose this army. It wouldn't necessarily be game ending, but it's so easy to let them be caught out. 6 more lings on the way. I'd like to see a couple more lings, and I think once really there's a Baneling Nest coming down right now for SoLJeRVictuS, so he's not going to put. Oh, actually, no, he will make 8 more lings. And right now, those Zealots moving into the natural base. Lings working on the rocks, but they should come to get a nice surround.
Yeah, Canary actually just going for a 3-gate pressure here, throwing down a second and third gateway behind us. He needs to not just lose this units early on, though. This is still pretty good, forcing this engagement, forcing the Zerg to not make drones, but the way SoLJeRVictuS is playing this out, getting the Baneling Nest, I don't think he was ever really planning on droning up more than this. I think both players are just going to make a bunch of units and try and kill each other, which in a situation, generally I favor Protoss, but 1 or 2 good Baneling hits on a clump of Zealots, and that's GG.
Yeah, I completely agree. Banelings are down now in the main. There's only 1 gas, but 3 have been in it for a very long time. We see SoLJeRVictuS starting to get a decent gas count. Now, the Queen will be able to work on this pylon for a little while, but it's really going to be key to box out this Mothership Core to allow these Speedlings to kill what they need to kill. And finally, Speed is done. 8 more lings on the way. As you were saying, no more drones are being created, but in the bottom right-hand corner for Canary, I mean, he's not making a Nexus either, or natural, whatever. As you're saying, we could potentially see a flood there. He's still got this ramp he can wall off, and he's got 3 Zealots making at the same same time and Gateway all almost done. But for now, it is 19 Lings and 7 Roach. Sorry, not 7 Roaches. 7 Banelings being made.
Yeah, if you're gonna play like this from Canary, you need to not over probe. He's at 20 probes on minerals. Just cut that off 4 probes earlier. Throw down an extra gateway and just go for the full 4 gate. Because right now this is kind of a weak play. These speedlings are just going to dominate the map for so long now. Denying that pylon was so great because now SoLJeRVictuS can just morph his banelings offensively and go in and bust the Protoss. And without perfect force fields, that he's just going to die. And this is 2011 ZVP is what we're seeing right here, basically. Here comes the bane.
Yeah. I would not have expanded right now, right as the attack's coming in. There's not that one big force field that can do it. 2 force fields used, a lot of banelings, 2 zealots going down, a sentry going down. There's no more sentries, and actually warping in, and his stalkers for Canary cannot get down there to help the natural base. The mothership core is going to be the only thing there. A time warp had to go down, so there will be no photon overcharge into the main. This is going to be very, very tight for Canary to defend. There is 14 more lings on the way. These lings are doing a decent amount of damage, but are getting picked off just barely by these 3 zealots. There's more lings on the way, and finally we see SoLJeRVictuS gonna drone up in air natural, but he's still in a good position if he can just contain Canary for a little while longer. But Canary's almost got that zealot count. I mean, the banelings did a lot of damage, but they did not do the critical damage on the critical units. They needed to get rid of these stalkers, and they needed, I mean, it was a good force field, or not amazing, but good for Canary. So right now, Canary needs this wall, and he's gonna be in a fine position.
Yeah,
I
honestly,
SoLJeRVictuS is searching for proxy pylons too.
Yeah, I'm honestly really shocked that Canary made it through that with those force fields. It's like I wouldn't even call those force fields like okay. Like it. I want Canary to rethink his force fielding if he's okay with those. Yeah, the zealots are really the key in that engagement.
Fantastic position with the force fields. If it was only those force fields and no zealots, you'd have been screwed. But
yeah, the zealots ate up so many of the banelings, and then the lings were expended taking out the zealots rather than the banelings detonating all over the zealots. So that the lings can have their way with the sentry and stalkers. It was just
exactly.
SoLJeRVictuS' 1-2 punch there that he had planned kind of fell limp and then did nothing. And he should have absolutely crushed the Protoss there, especially with those force fields that were really mediocre. But now Canary's sitting pretty. Didn't lose his natural, only took shield damage on it while it was building. And now he's good to go to transition. Looking in great shape. His tech is a lot better off than SoLJeRVictuS'. SoLJeRVictuS had to build so many of those banelings for that failed attack that really got nothing done. I'm kind of worried about SoLJeRVictuS here now.
Yeah, SoLJeRVictuS, as what he just did right there, scouting for a third. He may be able to deny a third for a little while, only because the army of Canary may be slightly slow. And I love this, the mothership core of Canary being very, very aggressive, moving out, seeing what it can spot in Canary. SoLJeRVictuS also leaving 3 lings at Canary's natural base. Now, as you were saying, Canary now can kind of choose what tech path he's going, and he's deciding Robo, while on the other side of the map, we see Roaches coming out for SoLJeRVictuS, but I mean, he's so far behind in that. He spent so much into those lings, so much into that gas, so it's gonna be a little bit hard for him to do this with, I mean, he does have 300 gas, but he's only mining off of 2 gas. As I say that, he is getting a third, and so it's gonna be key here whether Canary gives SoLJeRVictuS the time. It's the opposite of last game, and it's going to be whether Canary gives SoLJeRVictuS time instead of if SoLJeRVictuS is giving Canary time.
Right. Yeah, I totally agree. It's kind of the flip flop in their situations where now it's Canary's game to win. I feel like, but if he plays this out exactly the same way, he's getting that Warp Prism first, which is kind of strange, since I don't think he's going to be able to get too much done with it. There's like not that many units out for Zerg, but he's going to be staying at home with the few units that he has right now, kind of playing defensively, so the Warp Prism isn't going to get a whole lot done. He's actually going for a move out right now. I don't know if I like that much, especially since there's no Immortals out right now, and his upgrade for +1 is still 100 seconds away. I'm really worried that Canary's just going to sacrifice the supply lead that he has. Supply blocking the Zerg, though, that is a great way to start off this push. He might actually be able to get the third with some good force fields. Hopefully they're better than that first engagement.
Yeah, you kind of want to attack, though, when your opponent is supply blocked. Obviously, Canary doesn't know that, but I would like to point out he does have 9 sentries here, and with these, I mean, with 9 sentries, you can throw out a lot of force fields. It doesn't quite matter where they are. For now, though, we see SoLJeRVictuS with a count of only 13 roaches. War Prism coming in will be fantastic for reinforcing this army, but really right now, Canary wants these Zealots either at the back of the army to defend against what's going to come from the natural base or at the front, and they're neither. They're right in the middle. I love the Mothership Core's positioning, though. It's a preemptive time warp, if any, man.
There's a Ling run by in the main of Canary that's going to massacre probes. Warping of 2 Zealots. I don't know, he's going to lose almost all of his probes in the main. Now 3 drones have gone down to 12 probes, 4 to 12 now. Canary is in trouble. He needed to have a tight wall or a warp in or something to be ready for that counterattack. Excellent move by SoLJeRVictuS there to buy himself a little more time for a good engagement here.
Yeah, but Canary... SoLJeRVictuS by the ramp. Guardian Shield goes down. He goes up there, knows, oh crap, I'm screwed. Pulls back down, throws out some force fields, and SoLJeRVictuS is a beautiful concave, but not quite enough units. We see it 9, 10, 11 more roaches coming out. Actually, about 20, counting all of them, but a lot more roaches coming out for SoLJeRVictuS. That's exactly what he needs. Canary cannot attack up this ramp. I'd love if Canary got an observer, though, because right now, SoLJeRVictuS knows exactly what's going on because of his creep, because of all the vision he has, these overlords. But SoLJeRVictuS actually has to be careful not to lose these overlords in kind of bad positions.
Yeah, Canary actually left his probes after defending those Lings. About 10 probes, just not mining for a solid minute. So he's on like 1.5 base economy right now. He's going to struggle to keep this attack going while SoLJeRVictuS is only on 2 bases. But he's got a lot better units to fight this right now with the Hydras and Roaches up here. And they've got +1 attack now. Oh, nope. Actually, that never finished. I think SoLJeRVictuS canceled that to get more units out, but sneaking a Roach by into the natural again. SoLJeRVictuS has just bought himself so much time with that Ling run by. That was so absolutely incredibly clutch. Love that play, and now the game has kind of switched modes here, and Canary's looking kind of scary down here outside the natural, but I feel like as soon as he moves in to actually attack with this, unless his force fields are perfect, this is going to just totally fall flat.
Yeah, Canary has to be very careful. He's trying to get a nice angle with these sentries, but they're not going to happen. Beautiful queens up in the main base. But right now, if I was Canary, I'd be taking a third right here. You've got your opponent very well, just kind of pretty much stuck in his base here. But one thing, Canary cannot move up the ramp. Vice versa, though. Likewise, SoLJeRVictuS cannot move down the ramp. Both players are kind of at a stalemate here.
Right.
But as more roaches come out, because Canary does not, the Robo obviously is in his main, it cannot reinforce with those big units that Canary needs to make this army great versus roaches. Then again, almost 25 sentries, not actually 25. 21 sentries can make a lot happen. Guardian Shields, Hallucinations, Force Fields. It's really going to come down to those sentries, I think, because if they weren't there, then yes, the roaches would decimate.
Yeah, SoLJeRVictuS really cannot move down this ramp. Unfortunately, it's not Legacy of the Void. He can't just morph some Ravagers and bust out, but there's the Nidus network. That's how you get around this contain. Especially if he's, honestly, at this point, I wouldn't really try and Nidus the main of the Protoss. I just Nidus, like, at my third, right behind him, and, like, pincer down on top of him, something like that. But those force field counts, as these sentries just chill here and continue to gather enemy energy, there's only like 2 of them that are actually full. All the rest of them are gaining more force fields by the second. And with that many force fields, even in clumsy hands, you can win some crazy engagements.
Yeah, Canary's trying to get a nice position into the main base, but he can't quite do it each time. SoLJeRVictuS, his queens, has a couple Hydralisks up there because he knows that's how he could lose. But on the right-hand side of the map, as the map tells us, Nidus Worm going down, and it's not in the vision of Canary, so I don't think he heard like the Nidus sound. I'm not sure if that's. I'm not 100% sure.
Now he hears it, but he's in the natural of the Zerg player, ransacking it. These force fields are excellent, cutting it off. But the Zerg player just abandoned ship for the Nidus network. I think we're going to have a base trade. Like, the Zerg player has just funneled his entire force out of the Nidus network and now is killing the third of Canary. And the Mothership Core is over here. There's no energy, and it's about to die, so there's no recall or anything. This army of Canary is just on the other side of the map. It's going to kill this Zerg force. But the Zerg base, the Zerg force is on the other side of the map, absolutely destroying the Protoss. And SoLJeRVictuS managed to escape with some drones. He got a hatch on the other side of the map.
Beautiful.
SoLJeRVictuS is in fantastic position to take this base trade.
Yeah. I mean, he is, but Canary warps in enough force fields right here. Everyone always says don't base trade a Protoss. Protoss can time warp home, but it's not even. Sorry, Protoss can teleport home. It's not even teleporting home right here. There's so many sentries for Canary that it's vital for SoLJeRVictuS to get up into the natural. Yes, he started. What?
Oh, it's just Canary's sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt with that. But Canary's just indecision, leaving the Zerg base behind, leaving the tech in the Evo chamber behind and everything, walks across the middle of the map and then back towards the Zerg main. Total indecision here as SoLJeRVictuS moves up, absolutely massacres all the probes, and now all that's left is some sentries with no energy and an immortal and cannons that aren't going to get the finish. I think that's it for Canary. Yeah,
that bought a little bit of time for SoLJeRVictuS and to not necessarily pump out more workers, but I mean he's taken a main and a natural. I don't even know what to call these. He's taken like the 15th and the 13th base on this map, whatever. But he will be working out. Natural is dead. What he needs to do is get into the main and take out all the gates. But both players are completely supply blocked. So really, in the end, I mean, they're not going to be able to warp in anything anyways. This is their armies right now. But SoLJeRVictuS needs to get all these overlords out in the main of his base. All these overlords, 2, 3. Oh, he's lost so many overlords. This is so vital for him to stay alive here. Right now, Canary finally snipes the pool. There's only a Baneling nest left. But I mean, there's also nothing in the main base for Canary. Both players are actually SoLJeRVictuS. I mean, SoLJeRVictuS looks like in a fantastic position. He's got 4 bases on the map, while Canary may not have any by the end of this, but these queens are kind of blocking the main army for SoLJeRVictuS.
Yeah, the bottom line is that SoLJeRVictuS has hatcheries, enough money to build a drone, and he's got 8 other drones just out on the map, free and willing to run away from the Protoss forever, whereas all of Canary's forces are either in his army or in his main base, which is dying to a whole lot of roaches and hydras. And then once this Nexus goes down, he's going to get revealed, and I don't think he has... Oh, he built just... Oh, he has a probe in the warp prism with the army, so he built an assimilator in the top right corner. Oh man, this could actually devolve into a really strange situation if Canary plays this out right. We'll see though. That warp prism is a real game changer since he'll be able to run around and build one more assimilator or a pylon. But that warp prism will let him like run around with maybe the immortals in the warp prism to snipe buildings. We'll see though. This is really interesting. Bypassing the hatchery. Oh, you can't bypass the hatchery.
What I'm so scared about is not bypassing the hatchery, but the main army of SoLJeRVictuS needs to get out of the natural right here. It's not going to actually be able to. It's going to have to engage one-on-one. What I would say, if they can get out, he's going to be able to survive off these 2 bases, but it's not going to happen right here. Canary, I mean, he has so much. I think Canary's going to take this win right here because SoLJeRVictuS is getting ready for the fight of his life, but I'm not sure it's going to work unless Canary screw this up. Zealot's not in the right position, though. Roach is fighting on the high ground. So many sentries. I cannot even count 22 sentries. But interestingly enough, Canary's actually backing off. The way SoLJeRVictuS wins this is if he can get out of here and either defend any one of his hatches.
Yeah, I mean, Canary just needs to send some zealots to each of the hatches, and he lets the army out.
Come on, SoLJeRVictuS, take the sentries. That won't quite happen.
I actually didn't realize how despairing the difference in army size had become. Yeah. But SoLJeRVictuS is actually doubled up by Canary. It's 130 to 56. And with all of those sentries, they're going to make this army really cost effective with the force fields and guardian shields. There's no way SoLJeRVictuS takes this now, unfortunately. It's kind of strange. He was in a commanding position. Canary hesitated massively, not killing off the main of the Zerg as quickly as he could have. And I actually think that Canary can basically just ignore the army and bombard this hatch, and then he just has the one other extractor to deal with.
What are you doing? Yeah,
SoLJeRVictuS is mining now.
Yeah, SoLJeRVictuS, though, there was that kind of moment of what do I do for Canary, and SoLJeRVictuS did a lot of damage, but, I mean, SoLJeRVictuS... SoLJeRVictuS is how he expanded. I mean, he's not even defending his one hatch. He should have expanded into Canary's dead base right there. And he is actually getting a little bit of moment with his army. He may be able to kill some of these sentries, but so many force fields right here. The hatch of SoLJeRVictuS will go down, and I think that's it. There's, I mean, a couple overlords. There's some creep tumors right here, but this is such a big army supply for Canary. He's defending his one pylon, and that's literally it, actually.
Yeah, this is game. Canary is 114 supply. Unless that one pylon Yeah, SoLJeRVictuS tried to bombard. Oh no, the Hydras might actually be able to come in here. Unless they get force fielded off. That's SoLJeRVictuS' only hope if he can dive bomb this pylon. Oh, no! The force field's barely blocking out the Hydras, and that's it. That was so close. Well done, Canary.
Thanks for watching the video. Please subscribe to support the ASL by hitting the button now.